Hi guys, it's Donnell, and I haven't done a Facebook Live lately, so I wanted to hop on here and just share some thoughts that I've had recently. And if you guys don't know who I am the founder and creator of Soul Academy, where I teach busy people how to access their inner guru and return to their soul essence while living life on purpose, so you can become conscious creators and leaders, which is what this world needs. Anyways, I want to talk to you guys today about some energy that we're going to be working with. If whether you follow astrology or not, the new moon just occurred on Sunday and was in Leo. And Leo is a big energy. It is the lion. It's fire energy. And so really this is a time for us to step into the sovereignty of our hearts. So what does that mean? Being in our hearts, first of all, is the most important place to live from because it's the frequency of love, and that's where we can create so many amazing things. But it's also where our intuition lives. So if you're trying to connect to that inner wisdom and that voice inside of you, that's where you're going to start, is in your heart. And hey, Michelle, so good to see you. And so one of the things about this Leo energy that's so amazing is it's a time for us to take ownership of our heart's energy. And that would be about self-acceptance, self-love, and self-expression. So this is a time for us to really show up big. Leo energy is kind of like being on the stage, king of the jungle. It's just like this huge energy to work with. And so how can you take ownership of your heart? Well, one, you have to be in charge of who gets that energy, and be able to really tune into that space. So when we are paying attention to our energy field and listening to our heart, we can tell who around us feels good and who doesn't necessarily feel that great. And so one of the things I want to make you aware of when you're like thinking about showing up bigger in your life is be really clear about the effect the people around you have. So listen to that voice inside of you, that if there's something that, if you're around somebody and there's a negative energy, you don't have to take that on. You can stay high vibe and stay in your own space without having to take on somebody else's energy. And I've actually talked about this in other videos. But the number one way to really stay in your space is to not engage. So if you are in a conversation with somebody and it doesn't feel like, they're in the same space as you, instead of taking on their energy, stay in your own space. Because the thing is that each and every one of us has a mission on this planet, I believe. Like, we all have a life purpose. Even if you don't know what that is, it doesn't mean that that you don't have one. We all do. And so being able to step in your purpose and really express yourself takes a lot of energy and tuning in and knowing who you are, right? So if you're wasting all your energy on managing the people around you because it's a toxic environment, or you're in a job that you don't like, or you're having health issues, whatever it may be, listen to that. Oh, thanks for the likes and the love. I appreciate it. Hey, Linda. And hi, Carrie. So it's important to notice the environment and to pay attention to it so that we can have sovereignty over our heart. So don't feel like anybody else has control over your destiny. You have control over your destiny. You get to say when you don't want to engage with something. And the more that you take ownership of your energy, the more that you're creating your reality, right? And so it's not always easy, because I want to bring up a couple of clients that I just worked with recently that are like at the top of my mind. And one of them is trying to make huge shifts in her life. And she is very spiritual. She's very self-aware. And she is trying to take ownership of her heart and live more in her truth and in her gifts and express herself more in her marriage. And she has this program from her childhood that tells her that it's bad to express yourself because it may hurt the person around you, or it may cause problems. She really wants to be liked and accepted. Does anybody else know this energy? Yeah, we all do, right? And so anyways, I was working with her, and she came to me originally because she had this neck problem. She got into a car accident, and when we were doing the work, looking at the energy of what was happening, she was really blocked in her throat because yes, she was in a car accident that actually caused the physical pain. But if you guys ever have done energy work, there's always an emotional component to our physical ailments. So our body is the barometer of our soul. So sometimes we have these physical aches and pains that show up or are triggered by external circumstances to bring awareness to what's really going on within us, right? Hi, Violet. And so, hey, Mark, it's nice to see you. So anyways, when she came to me, like I said, she had this car accident and her neck was in pain. But when we were doing the work to uncover what was the emotional component of the energy that was keeping her in this physical pain, is she needed to express herself more to her partner. And so I just recently worked with her again, and I had moved the energy. And if you guys don't know what energy healing is, it's really about creating space to heal. I joke around and compare it to sometimes like your car windows, and they get dirty, and like when you clear them with the windshield wipers, you can see again. You have clarity. You know what your next steps are, and then you can start to tune into your heart again and take ownership of the energy and do the work to get to the other side of the pain. So the pain is a gift. It really is, because it's telling you something's off, and so it gives you an opportunity to work on yourself. But anyways, back to my client. I brought to her awareness what the emotional component to this was, and it was about self-expression, really a big part of taking ownership of her heart. So she started speaking her truth, and she cleared the pain, and she'd been in pain for months. And then I just recently saw her again, and she got sick. She got some asthma, and she got like a bronchitis type thing that was happening. And the reason when we did the energy work around this is because she's showing up, and it scared her. She was speaking her truth, and she didn't know how it was affecting the people around her, especially her partner, who she very much loves. So when we decide to take ownership of our heart, sometimes it's really scary because we don't want to hurt the people around us. And we have, like this specific client, a program from our past, from our childhood, that tells us that we're supposed to show up a certain way, that it's like bad to hurt other people's feelings or to speak our truth is a negative, that we should always kind of just go with the flow. No, don't always go with the flow, guys. Listen to your heart. So listen to what it's trying to tell you. So with her, in order to clear her being sick and doing the energy work around it, it was giving herself permission to show up in her truth and to really allow herself to speak what it is that's on her heart so she can create the changes in her life. And I want to bring up two things around this. Is when we are in fear of telling other people how we feel, it's scary because we don't want to hurt them. But they have a soul purpose in their own lives of what they're supposed to do. So if we're always protecting them from our truth, we're not helping them. That's enablement. That's almost like a level of codependency. So don't be afraid to speak your truth to other people. Like, tell them what you're really feeling, because it's important to let them be on their soul path and let them figure out their own energy, right? That's like part of us taking on that. So that's one thing, is not taking it on ourselves. And the other is, if you have a belief system in your mind that's telling you, that's keeping you from showing up and taking ownership of your heart, like, ask yourself where that comes from. A lot of the times it could just be programming from your childhood. So allow, and I love what Linda said. Okay, Linda, you just said, yes, her body has to shift to upload the new energy so she could stay with it and keep showing up. Yes. That's the thing, is when we're moving energy and we're shifting and evolving, our physical body is sometimes still in the old program. It's still trying to catch up to us, and it's making room, and it's making space for this new energy and this new way of being. So when we show up differently, it is going to affect our bodies sometimes. And when we're really doing things that are scary to us, like speaking our truth and taking ownership of our lives, it can cause waves of things around us or cause our circumstances to change, and that can be scary. And that is the other thing I was going to speak to. That was the other point I wanted to make, is that we can't change the people around us, obviously, right? If you think you can change the people around you, guess again, right? I've learned the hard way. We can't. The only people we can change is ourselves. And so if you're going to do the work in your life, do it on yourself, right? Like, love yourself enough to show up differently. And when you show up differently, you create a different vibration in your energy field. And that vibration that you have changes the things around you because you're showing up different. Thanks for the likes and the love. So don't be afraid to really allow yourself to look inward, and don't feel like it's selfish or, like you're doing a disservice to the people around you. As a matter of fact, the more that you love yourself, the more light you can hold, the more inspiration you can be other people. And I love this analogy. My coach told me this, and she said, do you want to be the lighthouse or the tugboat? So the lighthouse is the inspiration, right? They're like drawing in, they're the light helping, the boats to see where they're going. Or do you want to be the tugboat? And so this is especially for coaches and healers and therapists. Like, if you're the tugboat, you're like dragging somebody along and trying to help them, and it's draining, and it's not the right energy to be in to help people. So always remember, go back to helping yourself. So with this client, I'm excited to see the shifts that she makes with her energy healing. But if you guys want to learn more about energy healing, and if you have any issues within your physical body and you just think that it can't go away, one of the most amazing things that I've seen in my practice is people heal from things that they've had forever. I mean, even weird things like insomnia. I had a gal come to me who is like about 50 years old, super together lady, beautiful, great job, and she could not sleep if her life depended on it. And really, when it came down to it, we did the work and looked at it energetically and emotionally, and she had stuffed down her feelings her whole life. She never gave herself permission to really get to know herself and love herself. She was always busy raising her kids and being a great wife and being great at her job, but never really got to know what her heart wanted. So I'm going to wrap it up with that, because I was able to help her uncover that and heal that and move through that energy. And you guys are powerful healers, and anything that your physical body is bringing to you, you can shift and change through energy healing. And you can even start with you don't always have to go to a practitioner. A practitioner like myself can help you uncover what's there, but you can always look within and start doing the work within your heart. And that's really what this Leo energy is about, is taking ownership and loving yourself enough to accept what is, to express yourself and really love every aspect of you. And that may take a little work, right? But it's so worth it, because once you do that, you're going to be living the life that you desire, because then like you're living on the frequency of love and faith. And when you're living on that frequency, anything is possible, anything. You really leave space for grace. And that's what healing is about, is doing the work and looking back at our lives and kind of being a sleuth and figuring out what we need to move forward. Okay. So if you guys are interested in learning more, send me a message. I would love to talk to you about it. And I have some openings this week to connect with people. And if you are looking for some energy healing or just want to learn more about what an intuitive coach does, an energy healer does, definitely contact me. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for letting me get on here and connect with you.